after the last audio that I recorded, I thought I need a little practice being on this microphone. So I thought, I'll just tell you some stories, and maybe they'll make you laugh, and I'll get some more practice on this microphone. One of the things that's coming up in the future is I'm working on starting a podcast, and more on that in the future. We got some movement on that, so it should be interesting. So just by way of practice, and hopefully as a way to make you laugh, I want to tell you a little story, something that happened in my days in the Navy. Oh, let's see. That would have been 1998, I believe. I was on USS Austin. I was a machinist mate. I worked in the boiler room. They had gotten rid of the boiler technician rating, so we were all machinist mates down there then. And the Navy arranged to take me to the Mediterranean and show me all the high spots. And the first place that they took us to, I think we stopped. We might have touched at Rhodes. I don't remember exactly. But as soon as we got out of there, we went straight to the other end of the Mediterranean, to the Isle of Rhodes. And the bus from the pier took us straight to this little town called Falaraki. Now, if you've never heard of Falaraki, I don't blame you. You're not British, most likely. So, Falaraki is like Cancun with a whole lot more nudity and a British accent. Falaraki is, I think I remember it being 15 or 20 kilometers down the beach from Rhodes. So it was too far to walk, but helpfully the Navy arranged buses for us. Falaraki's primary claim to fame, I think, was that there were beaches, and every second storefront was a bar. So literally, it was bar, souvlaki joint, bar, place to buy beach towels, bar, restaurant, bar, and so on, all the way up and down this road. And all during the day, all these bars would throw open these giant rolling metal doors, and they would play music at the top of, they turned it up to 11. And I think it seemed like every fourth or fifth song that they played in every one of these bars was like, I swear it was like a fight song. I'm not sure if it was for the British, for the English soccer team fight song. I don't know, but it was always the same song, and everybody would start screaming this song along with every time. And it wasn't just one place. It was like every place did this. So there were like, I think maybe a total of 3 actual Greek people in this entire town, and everybody else who wasn't in the U.S. Navy was a British person on holiday, and they were all, college, young professional age, about that time of their life. None of them, 45 years old. That you're too old to be there, it seemed. But at mid, a little bit later in my 20s, I was was right in the right zone. Well, there was 2 places that I thought were probably the best places. They were the pool bars. And these pool bars, they had, pools. They would serve you alcohol, and pretty much you would sit in the pool and drink your alcohol. They didn't have like the swim up bars that you see in some of the like the Caribbean places, but they sold us fish bowls. That was the other thing that was really popular in town. It was these big plastic mixing bowls they called fish bowls, and they would make alcoholic drinks in these fish bowls. I mean, it was like the smallest one was supposed to be for 2 to 3 people, and you'd get one guy would drink all of it himself and get completely blitzed. The one that I remember seeing had to be like 5 or 6 tequila sunrises. So, exactly the right size for one person. And they sold them in like 3-person, 5-person, and 7-person, which worked out to 1 person, 2 persons, and 3 persons a lot of times. And it was enough to get the stated number of people completely blitzed. And we had the pools. So you'd sit in the pools and you drink this alcohol. The best of the 2, I thought, pool bars was the one that had the bungee jumping thing. Oh yeah, remember I was saying earlier that it was it was like Cancun with more nudity. This was Europe, so naturally all the women on the beach went topless. it was very difficult for me to try to hold an intelligent conversation with a woman who's got her shirt off at the beach. It took a couple of days before I was, capable of saying things in, more than 2 syllables at a time. It's kind of funny. Well, same thing went for the pool bars. As soon as they got to the pool bars, the ladies took off their tops, were sitting in the water. And there were 2 pools. There was the pool that they bungee jumped into and the other pool. The bungee jump pool was roped off in the middle, so half of the pool was for swimming and half the pool was the landing zone for the bungee jump. Well, that was the only time in my life I've ever bungee jumped. I probably won't ever bungee jump again. Not that it was bad, it's just not really worth the money to do it twice. It was worth the money to do it once, but not twice. And the way it worked is they rigged up this the bungee jumping cord to your ankles. They put you in it was a big crane basket, one of those, horizontal beam crane things. Hoist you straight up in the air, put you right over the pool, and then you just sort of lean over until you fall head first. And they had it rigged up so that you'd go into the pool about waist deep head first. So your belly button to your top of your head was wet, your toes to your belly button was dry. Down I went, into the water, splash, yanked me back out of the water, bounced a couple of times, and then they moved the crane over the pool deck and lowered me down, and, it was my job not to land on my head. Well, there was this one girl, she got out of the pool, put on her little bandeau top, little, what do you call them, tube top things, went over, got rigged up to bungee jump, and they took her up, and out she went, into the water. Well, naturally, when she hit the water and pulled back out, the water pressure sucked her top up around into her armpits. So now she's topless. Every single one of the guys in the pool, yay! And she's really quickly trying to cover herself up. Now, remember, she was topless in the pool just 5 minutes ago. She had gotten out of the pool, put her top on, bungee jumped into the water, and then became topless. And we're cheering, and she's trying to cover it up. And then as soon as they got her off the crane, she took her top back off and jumped back in the pool. So, it's a little bit of a different experience trying to maintain your dignity when people around you are topless. One of the many things you learn when you join the U.S. Navy.